This is Dr. Vaishali and I'm reading from the book Structure, book written by Dr. Rajan Sankaran. Remaining case of the hydrogen, row 1. Last dialogue was doctor asked, and then what happened to that life force? And she replied, lots of things happen to it. It get programmed. So doctor asks, so when you showed life force, you showed your two hands like this, cupped and close over, lapping each other, forming a hollow. Show that again. And patient reply, repeats the same action and the life force is in there. Well, I'm just trying to capture it and put it in something. Well, because it is so ethereal, and we are talking about it, I have to try and capture it to explain it. That's all. And doctor asks, so what happened to this ethereal things when it is captured? It can live in here. I doesn't even feel or have to be restricted. It can live in here. Now understanding, at this point I'm sure that the remedy is hydrogen, and to put in her hands her words, it is the first substance to be trapped in the physical form and thus captured and restricted. So now I go to her dreams to see if the same things will surface out or not. And I asked, tell some dreams that you get. And she said, I have a recurring dream that I am always in the house by the ocean that usually has lots of glass windows. You know how the tide comes in and go out, but in this house the ocean always comes and threatens to get in through the window. It's too much force, the water, and I know I'm supposed to be afraid, but I'm not really afraid, and I think it's going to be okay. But I never finish the dream. This always continue, and the water never breaks the window and gets in. Doctor asked, what's the feeling in this situation? And she said, I feel that should be afraid that it's going to break the window and it will overtake me. Means the water will come in and I will drown. I'm really good swimmer, but if that water came in, it's too big and I don't think I could swim. It could kill me. I supposed I wouldn't have the strength to get out of that water. It would probably mangle me up first and then roll me. And see again, do hand gesture like actions, hand rotating around each other. And I wouldn't have control over my limbs, and eventually I would succumb to the water, to the drowning. I would die. So doctor asks, describe these mangled things that you showed up with your hand. And she replied, it's when you are in the water and there is big waves. You don't get in the wave, right, and it does whatever it wants to you. It just has no respect for your arm. If it want to go this way, uh, it just does whatever it wants. You have no any control. It just mangle you up. It has no control over your limbs. It's a force. Too big for you. It could be wind also. The wind comes and you are too light and you can be actually taken off, and the wind can actually blow you, or the water can destroy you and destroy your form also. One time, I don't know if this is relevant, but once when I went on the roller coaster and it had so much force in it. You know, you always hold your face in a certain tension, but in the roller coaster, because of the speed, it couldn't control anything anymore. If I wanted to smile, I couldn't. I even have no control over my face. The tension, that's what mangle means to me, and you have no control over it. If I have to sit in the chair, you can't, because the force comes over and flails you in every different way. If somebody came and pushed me, I couldn't probably fall quite gracefully, but in the force there is no grace. You are at the total disposal of whatever it does to you. It takes away all the harmony and the aesthetic of the body. Here, the understanding in her case, word control does not indicate the cancer miasm, it signals the acute miasm. For her, control means it's much larger than me. This is out of control. So, out of control is also an acute miasm expression. It depends on the sense of how it is used. In the cancer miasm, they need to maintain the control in the chaotic situation, whereas in this acute, the situation is out of control, things are going out of control, and then there is a panic, and control is from handled by outside source, while in cancer it is control inside emotions. She cannot control like that way. Doctor asks, what is the harmony? And patient says, well, the body has a certain harmony and it has proportion and form. Action of hand facing each other going above downward, this was action. And doctor asked, so what happened to this form? And she said, it's destroyed. If it is in force like that, it's not harmonious. When the form is destroyed, there is no beauty left in it, nothing. Well, maybe the life force can be left, but if it is too strong, then even the life has to go, even the life force has to go. And the doctor asked, what is the left when everything has gone? And she said, nothing, it's gone, it's quite sad. She cries, and something you know like a baby, it's born, it should be there. If that life takes it away, especially if it is a baby, then it's a sad, it's a way too sad. Like you have a nice painting and somebody comes to and throw something on it and cut it with a knife, or however, then you don't have anything anymore, nothing left. It's change, it's not a baby, it's a material, but it's still sad. Yay, that's sad. Now the case analysis. In retrospect, this case makes lot of sense. Otherwise, through it treated like a mystery. The most important thing I understood in this case is that a structure is just forming. The kind of structure, say mentioned, is something which is free, light, thin air and has no weight. She is at the point between the energy and the matter, and the feeling is, do I exist or do I not exist? Am I energy or a matter? Hydrogen is the beginning of the matter, the stage just after the conception where energy crystallizes into the matter. And the main sensation that she experiences is like a baby without a body, just energy. The miasm here is acute. For example, with a divorce situation, she feels scared and wants to escape. I took the following rubrics from the complete repertory. 1. Conflict between higher consciousness and worldly existence. This is a single remedy for this rubric. Second is delusion, imagination, energy of powerful, moving around in the air. This is also a single remedy for that. 4th feeling, isolation, sensation of. 4th one is delusion, body separated from the soul as if. This is also a single remedy for this rubric. Now comparison with the helium. Helium from its structure is complete. Here she would love to be complete but is also very scared to be alone. So the remedy given was hydrogen 200, single dose, and follow one by one for about 6 months follow. I just read a last follow. How are you? And she said, great, that's good. I'm setting up new way to work in a multi-level marketing. So it's working very well and we are trying now in 4 different countries. It's really good. I'm passionate about it. It has brought me back into the workplace and it is interesting. It's exciting and I feel useful. I feel the company supports me a lot and give me a lot of recognition. It's interesting because I believe that I'm helping other people, and when you make money sometime, you become isolated and you started to take a taxi instead of train and things like that, and think you have to fight against that isolations. That's what it seems like to me. That it's not enough in the life to have and not do. Life to have and not to. Okay. Earlier in her case, also she spoke of being alone. This is a note by Dr. Rajan. And so a doctor asked, so tell a little more about the isolation. What you mean by isolation? And she said, I just have to speak off the top of my head. It's very basic to man to feel isolated. He doesn't want to be isolated. We want to be connected to the world, to the people, to our environment, and it seems as there is a force that makes you not connected. It is easy to be not connected than to be connected. So, this isolation can make people feel very badly unloved or alone. I think that everything is about that. Either you are connecting or disconnecting, whether that's a person or to your work or maybe even the environment. Sometimes I think the connection is also equated to the communication. And so doctor asked, so tell me about the connecting, disconnecting and isolation. And she said, I have meditated for several years, but yesterday I could feel like the free state in me would be energy flowing, and it seems like a part of me was connected to the that very big part of me was stopped from the connecting because I thought about that image. It feels like this is me, but this energy is very stiff. Here the action of hand diagonal and coming towards the body sideways. It is a sort of traversed in me like wood pieces or the wood beam. It is just there. I could dissolve it. I meditate for quite a long time and I have that last little bit depending on my time of meditation, but I will come right back. It is something I believe I live with is this, and it is a blockage of the flow of energy, and I don't know how it relates to the correction, disconnection, or the isolation. So describe that things that you are shown me with your hand. This will hand diagonally entering the body, and she said a big beam of the wood like a Swiss chalet, villa or country house. There is a wood of villa or country house. How they make big beam? It's a roughly cut and it's inside my body. It is not sticking out, it's inside my body and it has traversed my body like this. It's very uncomfortable. It feels like it shouldn't be there, but it is always with me and I am not aware. And the only way to get rid of it, this temporary, is to by doing this meditation. So doctor asked, so what is the experience of the meditations as opposed to the block of the food? And she said, it frees the energy, frees me an experience of my inside of myself. It is something I would like feel alone, feel all the time, and I feel right, calm and poised. And when you say connection or bring your hand like this, action of finger of both hand touching each other, what does this shows? And she said, well, this is a more connected touch tips of the all fingers. I think there are positive and negative forces and it's mysterious, but I know you need to have this to make a connections. If I am connecting here with my hands, it seems so much simpler than trying to explain it. It is just there like this way. So doctor asked, so what's the experience of this for you? This hand coming together, there is a connection and there is some sort of equilibrium because they are the same, they are the touching, they have the same feeling in both of them. The one's right hand and more aware because this is one, the left, and but by themselves and they don't know. It's a balance. So doctor asked, what is the experience when they are by themselves? She said, mostly they are just there. I am not aware of them. If you are like this, you can feel your hand, and if you are usually like the hand by side, then you don't feel them. then there is a no experience. You are disconnected from your hand. It feels okay because you don't know it. When they come together, you know you have hands and you can feel the energy in the hand. It's a pleasing. So doctor asked, what's the opposite of it? So she said, to not exist, I think, exist. Do not exist, I think. That's probably the most disconnected you could be, because you don't even know. It's like before you are born, maybe you don't even know that you are going to be born, and you have a body. You don't exist. How does that feel? And she said, well, if you are not born, it's okay. But if you are born, it's not okay, because if you have a body and you feel that you don't exist, that's not okay. Mostly you don't know, but if I can see that if you feel that, the ego will have to make compensations. It could do all kind of things. It could try to get attention, for example, or it could try to make itself known and visible. It could become very clever, and I think it seeks to be seen. It seeks for recognition. And doctor asked, why? What is the experience to not exist, to not be seen? And she said, that's isolation. And doctor asked, so these are your innermost experience, right? And in a way, what you are saying now. So my questions to you is that, has there been any changes in this aspect since we met the first time and now? And she said, well, there is definitely changes. What I notice the most is the compensatory behavior that I seek to be seen is very inappropriate, and that's not completely gone by any means, but it comes to my awareness, and there is a change in that area. There is a sort of strength to recognize myself as opposed to have to be inappropriate recognition by the people. I can remember when I was younger, I was seeking it inappropriately by trying to get attention from my parents or people around me. As I got older, I think because clever, or I got more mature to think that it was inappropriate behavior, I let people take advantage of my kindness and me. I let people even to point out abuse, like they can abuse me psychologically. I am aware of that now. It is still happen, but it is less, and I have some sort of something to counteract with it. I think it's very settled, but that is what I think is the biggest change I feel ever. Here the understanding is what we understand here is this feeling, I exist only if others see me to be existing. There is a big conversation, and finally the next question was, what is the dream you have been getting there? And she said, I haven't had a lot of dream. Every now and then I have a dream, maybe once in 2 to 3 weeks. I remember I lost something. Don't know if I lost it, but I dream that I have found it. Doctor asked, when did you dream that you lost it? And she said, it actually was lost. It is the actual things that happen, but it is a great experience to find it. It was joyful, but not bursting with joy. It was more like a calm joy. It feels like my life was right because I found it. And doctor asked, how has your health been in the last few months? And she said, I have these things on my skin that are clearing up a lot. They were bigger and more prominent and protruding, and they seems to be smaller and less color in them. Again, how was it earlier in your life? And she said, when I was with sorry, I missed this one dialogue. you had a neuroma on the right foot, right? And she said, that's interesting. I haven't felt that for a while. Around 6 weeks ago, it was really bad. I couldn't even walk in the store. I just stopped. It was awful and it was excruciating. I couldn't stand or anything, and I always attributed it is to running, and I started running again, and I haven't felt it now. I don't know why. I run a lot less but slowly, and I don't want it to come back, but I don't feel it right now. And doctor asked, so what is the situation with your husband and the divorce story now? What is happening? And she said, well, we are trying still. We had all of our money blocked for quite some time by the company. We have had 9 lawyers trying to solve it, and they haven't solved it. And so one day I thought that I could solve it, and we decided that we would pay everything and then divide the money. It worked really beautifully, and now he actually wants to say that he runs the business and that I have done nothing for the last 9 to 10 years, and he wants to take a big portion of the check. And I have mixed feeling about that. I'm not really afraid about releasing the check, and I feel that my own work will great in the future, and I am not interested to make two separate business, and it is very hard to separate that, and it involves a lot of people. And if you break up and you say that these people are yours and these are mine, then it's really hard. Your whole organization is like a family. I am sort of ambivalent about it, and I want to make a correct deal for myself, but I am not progressing into it by fear that I will not have enough. I am not worried because of the passion I have to work right now. And doctor asked, how was it earlier? And she said, when I was with him, much more angry actually. I was more afraid than to live with less than I have been used to not be able to buy things and live in my apartment or give my children money. And doctor asked, you experience some fear right now, or what is the experience? And she said, I think that fear is very painful. I'm afraid of myself. I'm afraid of having built something in my family so nobly. I did it so well, and then for whatever reason I accepted the responsibility of my pardoning, and it broke. And she cried. Question, doctor asked, so what is the experience of something built being broken? And she said, it's very awful. I just closed down. I'm just connected from that little bit now. I'm building now in my business. I can see the building that it is I'm building, and every time you put a brick in place, it's really gratifying. But if I say that was my marriage, I did that, and one day I just bombed my own building. And described the bomb. And she said, well, it exploded and everything goes into fragmented pieces and goes everywhere, falls, and you can't even find the pieces, nor can you put it back together. And doctor asked, describe whatever comes to your mind when you say bomb. And she said, explosion, fire, they fall out, the uh, uh, unidentifiable fragments of things, like that way. And she doctor asked little bit more about bomb, please explain. And she said, I look at as a surprise effect. It has lot of noise, big sound, this is scary things. If you were next to the bomb, you would be like that too, and just like 9/11, just fragmented, people never found, their bodies not found. And doctor asked, then what happened? And she said, what happened? Everything burst into tiny pieces and scattered all over the place. Doctor said, what is the experience of getting something burst and pieces fragmented all around? How is the experience in that? And how does it feel? And she said, feels very empty. And doctor asked, describe empty a little bit more. And she said, it's like a big hole. It's a black and it's right in the middle, and it's take up the whole solar plexus. It's just dark and black and feels awful. It hurts. Here is the real experience. Doctor asked, what is the feeling like? Have the black dark hole in the middle? What is the experience like? And she said, heavier than my body, spreading like a lead pulling down, feeling slightly poisonous too. And doctor asks, what is the opposite of this heavy like lead pulling down? She said, probably like anything in the air, jumping or running in the air, even while dancing, you are in the air, flying in your dreams, feeling lightness in your body and free from your body